but I suppose you have to take a lot of pride in this shutout streak the team's got going with 3 in a row.
Yeah, we like to think it's like a team effort with our defense because we do all work together as a back line, and Clara gives us a lot of credit, so she's really good about that, but we give her a lot of credit as well because she's been coming up really big for us.
There was 2 days off for fall break after you finished off the Northwestern win, and then just 1 game this week. As somebody that goes the distance regularly, is it a good point in the season to have this kind of downtime or slow time?
Yeah, for me personally, it was really good because I could get my legs back, because after 2 games in 1 weekend, it's actually pretty tiring, but it's good to have a couple days off just to get back on your feet.
You and Kim Love kind of went into the center back area together about the same time, with her coming back from injury and then your chance finally to play Kansas and going forward. How have you guys meshed together?
Really well, actually. We just said it after the last game that we've actually been working really well together, and we both listen to each other, and we know that we can yell at the other one and the other one will listen and do what the other one says. So.
Yeah, I really appreciate the time that Rob gave us off. It gave me and the rest of my teammates time to get our legs back under us so we can start preparing to play Nebraska this weekend.
Mikayla Lasky kind of joined you at center back about the same time that you came back from injury, maybe the time for the Kansas game. How have you guys meshed together?
I think when playing games together, me and Mikayla have really started to play well together. It took a little bit of time because we started off a little shaky, but now I feel like we play really in sync, like we communicate well. And like I know if I step forward, I know she's gonna slide in behind me and have my back if I make a mistake. And I think she feels the same way when she's playing with me.
One of the things I kind of noticed when I was going through photos from games is there's not a lot of photos of you and Mikayla with the ball at your feet necessarily. Is that how you kind of like it? Is it kind of, if you do get it, boot it as far as you can?
I prefer to, it's a lot easier if the ball's coming out, just to like head it back and then like have one of the midfielders handle it and deal with it, because they're a lot more technical than I feel I am. So we just try to keep the ball at the back as much as we can and then play it directly up to the forwards and try to get an attack out of it.
Is a shutout streak or a shutout in general kind of for a defender as good as a goal?
Yeah, basically, because that means that we're doing our job as defenders from keeping the other team from scoring. It's been really nice these past couple of games.
Kim and Mikayla both noted that once you get your lineup set and the girls have just become more comfortable there. What can you say about your recent?
Well, certainly I think a bit of solidity, goes a long way. But certainly I think Mikayla Lasky's addition to the back line has added a fantastic ability to head the ball. And she's a competitor, and she has grit, and she's consistent, and that's really what you're looking for, both goalkeepers and defenders, is to provide an element of grit, a battling mentality, and consistency. She's good enough technically to be able to us use her and play out of her, through her, but at the same time defending set pieces, our attacking corners and set pieces. She's made a huge difference. Unlucky for her, she hasn't scored more than a single goal because she clattered the one off the crossbar this last weekend off of a corner kick, and she's just, I think, really helped settle us down there. In addition, we've gotten a great rotation of players using Kaiser and Pollock and Frick and Nellums, and so we really haven't asked anyone in the outside back position to really play too many minutes where they've gotten overtaxed, and that ability to keep them fresh allows you to be more focused and not make as many mistakes in the back. And the final thing I would add to that is Claire Kreidler really over the last 3 to 4 weeks has been spectacular in goal. She's been consistent, she's made quality saves, she's been vocal, her distribution's been good, and she's really extended her range in coming out, and her defensive presence is improved, and that just makes things easier for the defenders playing in front of her.
Obviously 6 goals against Penn State, but you guys have turned it around. You haven't been scoring since. Just kind of what have been the changes?
We've just been locking it down harder and just been working as a team to defend as a pack instead of as single people, so that we have more people defending than just one person against one other person, so it gives us a better chance.
I don't know, I think it took, cause we're finally, I think, sticking with a pretty solid back line, and me and Mikayla have finally gotten in sync playing with each other, and I think the entire defense has come together. Claire has been communicating well in the entire defensive line, all the defenders are playing well together now, so I think that's what's been helping us not be scoring on recently.
kind of a unique scenario this past weekend where off a corner kick you had a header go off the crossbar, and then Northwestern late in the game almost scores to equalize. It goes off the crossbar. Can you maybe explain what that feeling is like, that up and down when you're on offense versus defense, when you see those close chances?
Yeah, on offense, when it's like a close change like that, for me being a defender, it's really exciting because that doesn't happen very often. So it's very exciting when you get a chance like that. But when it does hit off the crossbar, that is very disappointing on the offensive end. But on defense, it's really scary when it hits the crossbar because that's like 1 inch away from going in the goal. So, but thankfully it didn't go in.
Third year since Nebraska joined the mix in the Big Ten. Still kind of one of the new kids on the block, but a team that has proved to be very dangerous, had their 7-game win streak snapped Sunday.
Yeah, they're one of the most organized teams, I think, within the Big Ten. They play their own particular style. No one else replicates what they try to do, both offensively and defensively. And really watching video, I was really, really impressed. They move the ball very efficiently. They've got a couple creative players, but their kids are well drilled in exactly pattern play, what they're trying to do. And they're a team with enormous amounts of energy, and they don't lose anything when they bring they rotate their subs onto the field. It's really a team that I think that's bought in, and you get that when you've had success. So for us, it'll really be a challenging game. We've talked about a bit of their peculiar. I don't even know how to say it. A bit peculiar in their approaches, and some things that we're going to have to do to solve those. But at the same time, their approach to the game, I think, provides you an opportunity, a platform on which to build and attack them. And we were able to do that a bit last year in the second half of the game, and that's what we're going to focus on this week.
Could you hit maybe briefly on some of those unique aspects that they bring to the table?
Yeah, sure. They play effectively, oftentimes in a 4-2-4. Rarely are they only 2 midfielders. They're outside backs and they're outside forwards. Both rotate forward and back. They slide. They press sometimes really aggressively, and other times they sit in and close up space and only defend their half of the field and allow you time and space to build up to midfield where they're looking to pick a ball off and counter. Those approaches to the game, the players don't see consistently, different ways of playing all within one game. And oftentimes, young players get into a single mode of this is how we play. And the challenges of those various systems means you need to approach your attacking play in different manners. And so those are the questions that they pose to you. And at the same time, they work excessively hard. And I said they've got great player rotation, good passing ability in this year's team, technically proficient. They've got some real quality. And so, defensively, you've got to show up and battle and outwork them.